Hey y'all, thank you for coming back to my channel. It's Naturally Mar. We're going to be reviewing The Real Housewives of Potomac Season 6. My girls are back. So they start off the season by showing the ladies in their various confessional looks. And of course, the producer has to ask a question, which is, what's one word you would use to describe the season? And then we see Giselle saying, toxic. Well, here we thought that we wouldn't see Monique this season. However, they show a glimpse of the fight. Then we have Wendy saying that last season taught her you never know who is plotting behind your back. You don't know who your real friends are, and make sure you don't listen to them, but watch them. We also see that Wendy is having a party. So she's creating this invite, and it's starting off with her doing the silhouette challenge. We then see a glimpse of each lady, how their day is going. We see Giselle, it looks like she's finally finished her West Wing. We see Karen watering her plants. Robin and Juan are showing their new house being built. And we have Candace has sold her old home, was up for almost $800,000 and has now bought a new house. We also have Ashley, looks like she's ready to pop. She is about 10 days away from her due date. So next up we have Ashley, Michael, and Baby Dean. Ashley is, thinks that Michael is a great father. And right now she's, still thinks or worries, is this time going to be different with Michael? Is he not going to cheat? Is he just going to be there for her and the kids? Well, Michael claims that, he is about his family now. We'll see. So we see that Candace is having Giselle over to her house for the first time. This is her first guest out of the ladies. And we meet her bonus children, what she calls her bonus children, which are two of Chris's kids. And Candace is trying to work on becoming, more comfortable with being a stepmom. Now, of course, Giselle has to be a little bit shady, saying about time. Candace has her own home. Now, I don't see why people make such a big deal as to Candace's home, whether her mom helped her buy it. Like, why can't her mother pass down generational wealth and assist her daughter in buying a home? Candace proceeds to give Giselle, a little tour of the house, and she shows her mother's guest room. And in the guest room, it was so weird that there's like a life-size figure, cardboard figure of her mother just sitting there in the room. And why would you want to have something like that just staring at you? Very awkward. Her mom's kind of full of herself. Candace's house is not yet finished because, due to COVID, things have been slow in terms of the furniture and stuff like that she wants that needs to be delivered hasn't arrived as yet. They sit down to talk, and we learn that Candace is still in school. She's getting her master's. And of course, Giselle is always worried about her stomach. Chris appears, Candace's husband, and he goes in the kitchen and gets them something to eat. He brings out a little fruit platter for them, which the ladies love. Now they continue their conversation, and Candace asks Giselle about what's going on with her and Jamal. How's that going? And Giselle basically said they're not going good. Now, Giselle claims that her and Jamal aren't together because of the pandemic. Please, Giselle, don't lie. We knew that this relationship was never real to begin with. So she's claiming that it was the pandemic, y'all. All right, then. So Candace doesn't believe it either. And Candace feels that Giselle is they're breaking up due to the embarrassment from the reunion that Giselle went through. They then get talking about Karen, and Candace right now is not really wanting to talk to Karen, still, a little hurt, doesn't want to bring up any angry feelings. So I think she's going to avoid Karen at this time, or avoid getting into anything with Karen. Doesn't know where their relationship is going to be at the moment. Giselle basically is saying F Karen. Doesn't want anything to do with Karen. She's still upset at Karen. Of course, she's gonna take everything all out on Karen because Monique's not a part of the show anymore, so she can't take it out on Monique. So who else to take it out on but Karen? Well, of course, Karen says that Giselle's not invited to her party. She doesn't want to invite anybody that is going to bring negative energy to her party. And I don't blame her at all because they're not in a good space. Karen feels that Giselle is just misdirecting her anger towards her when it should be at Jamal, because Jamal was the one who put her through embarrassing moments. Now for the grand moment, everyone's phone rings. And because they get the notification of the message that Wendy has now sent to them, we see everybody's excitement like, okay, Wendy, okay now. And the most funniest reaction was between Ray and Karen. I mean, Karen was just decide to go sit on Ray's lap. Meanwhile, I don't think Ray can handle that type of pressure. And Ray was just like, oh, what's this? Oh, I need my glasses. And Karen's like, why do you need to look at Wendy so hard? The two of them were hilarious. Wendy and Eddie go to the surgeon's office for Wendy's checkup. The producer asked her in her confessional if she got any work done, and she claims if she did get any other work done, she would let us know. So the surgeon is odd because the surgeon is checking for swelling on her stomach and also on her behind. Now, if you didn't get any other work done, Wendy, why is he also checking those areas? Now, Robin is taking out Juan to a smoothie place. And in her confessional, we see that the producers ask her, okay, Robin, so when are you and Juan getting married? And her excuse was, well, guess what? A pandemic happened and online schooling. So right now, getting married is not a priority. Robin, we know that you and Juan are not going to get married. This was just that engagement party was basically just to shut you up and to save your tail to get on the new season. He ain't marrying you. Juan and Robin were talking about what's been going on lately. Robin hasn't been, getting up early to look after the kids. The kids have been getting Chick-fil-A every day to eat. And Robin is starting, has really been slacking in that department. And Juan is looking at it as a turnoff because she's not really getting her day started till about 2 p.m. Now, Robin's saying that, she's felt very burnt out. The days are meshing together, and it looks like she's going through a little bit of depression. She's feeling overwhelmed. Now, Juan, instead of trying to help your wife get through this slump, you're basically talking down to her. And how are you going to bring up having another child because you want to have another child? Bring up the fact that your wife is 41 years old, but you want another child. Like, why didn't you think about that sooner and get things started a little better? Really, how are you going to have another child and you're having these problems? Get married first. Marry the girl if you want another child. And the reason why I say get married first also is because, Robin, when you and Juan were having this conversation about buying another house, you said you weren't just going to move into another house without actually being married. So what happened to that? Candace and Chris are in the kitchen with the kids making dinner. Candace is struggling with Math 101, helping Chris's daughter with her math homework. We do see that the producers ask Chris and Candace in their confessional if they're going to be having more kids, or having kids of their own, really, I should say. And Candace, was just like, maybe in the future type of a thing. And the producer's like, well, if you guys are going to have kids, does that mean you're going to stop using condoms? Like, you're married. Why are you using condoms? And Candace claims that she still doesn't trust penis. Okay, Candace. She also says that her mom says, "Well, if you guys have kids, you're gonna be his. She's gonna be Chris's fourth baby mom." And Chris was like, "No, no, no, no. You would be the third. Like that really makes it any better." But Chris would like to have kids with Candace. It's Candace who is holding back. All right, so now we're getting to the scene with Wendy's dinner. Now we see that Wendy and Eddie are um, talking about the dinner and that, Eddie's going to be looking after the kids. They call the boys up to get cupcakes, and um, Wendy and Eddie are so amused that her children don't know what these cupcakes look like because she had them as replica breasts, and the boys are just like, don't know what they are, think it's just chocolate, and they're happy that they still have their innocence. We see that Giselle is the first to arrive. It seems like everybody is complaining about how far Wendy lives. Giselle says she lives basically in Nigeria. So I'm surprised. Robin is next to arrive. It seems like Robin is going to be arriving to these events earlier on time. Good job, Robin. And of course, Giselle pulls her to investigate the seating plan, like around the table, and they see this new name, and she's like, "Do you know Mia? I don't know Mia. Who is that?" As Mia and Karen are on their way, Karen is basically giving her um, details about everybody that she's going to be meeting. She tells her to make sure she watches out for Giselle because Giselle doesn't necessarily treat anybody new very kindly. We also get to see that as they're talking about things, that Giselle and Wendy actually had a sit down the week prior to discuss their relationship. So it looks like they're going to be turning over a new leaf as well. Ashley arrives next in her rain boots and a white dress. I guess that's what she could find to fit her. Poor Ashley, she is very pregnant. Wendy appears at the top of the staircase and tells the lady she's going to be coming down in a minute. She was dressed in a robe. So as she comes down, Robin was like, "Wendy, we don't want another striptease." And they sit down as they're talking. She lets them know that Candace isn't coming because she's not feeling well. Robin seems to think that she's not coming because she wants to avoid Karen. Ashley is trying to change into heels when she comes. You can see that her feet are kind of swollen, and Giselle's like, "No, girl, these heels aren't going on." She tried to help her strap them on, but it's not going to fit. Poor Ashley. Giselle brings up Mia, asks Wendy who that is, and Wendy tells them that Mia is actually Karen's friend. And Giselle's like, "Oh, good, because Karen needs some friends." Shady. Karen and Mia finally arrive, and of course, Giselle is in her feelings, feels that Karen should have immediately come over to apologize. Apologize for what, might I ask? No, you don't need an apology, Giselle, and I don't think you're going to get one. So they sit down and the ladies start to get to know a little bit more about Mia. Now, Mia has 3 kids. She has a joint chiropractic business, and she lives by the harbor. Now, when she said that she has 2 homes, you should have seen the look on Giselle's face, because you know how Giselle feels about people having more than one home. I think it gave her a flashback as to when Monique told her that she has 4 homes. So it seems like Giselle doesn't like Mia already. And she mentions that she had 4 grandchildren. So when this 4 grandchildren came up, everybody was like, 4 grandchildren? What, the 12-year-old already had kids? Like, they were so confused. And then she explained that her husband is older, that her husband is about 38 years older than her. So Wendy asks her, "Well, may I ask, how old are you?" And she says she's 36. But she claimed that her husband was 68. So, of course, that math just ain't mathing. And it was Hilarious. Robin was actually the one who caught on that, wait a minute, that doesn't make quite sense. So really, her husband is 32 years older than her. Wendy goes into this long, drawn out story about why she's having this party. Okay, Wendy, just get to it. She reveals happiness. So she derobes herself, shows the ladies that she got her boobs done. Now, they asked her, did you get anything else done? And she said, no, she just got her boobs done and she got some tweaks. Wendy looks great. She looks confident. And, the ladies really are interested in what tweaks they had. So they go to sit around the table to eat, and they're still talking about how great Wendy looks. And Mia just says, yeah, so what else did you get done? And Wendy just fires back at her, kind of rudely, fires back about, how about you? What work did you get done? Because you look like you got a lot done. Wendy, there was no need for you to come at her like that. I mean, you yourself are still kind of new. So no need to be the mean girl. Anyways, Mia had no problems going down the list of things that she has had done. You're not going to shame her for her work. She's proud of the surgeries that she's had done. You could take some pointers about that. Now, Karen asks, what happened to Candace? How come she's not here? And Wendy realized, oh yeah, her and Mia weren't there for the earlier conversation. Tells them that Candace couldn't make it. She called her about 10 minutes before the party started. And of course, Robin had to have another moment again and told Karen she thinks that Candace didn't come because she's trying to avoid seeing Karen. Now, Ashley says it, basically that she shouldn't really be putting that out there because we have to hear from Candace herself of how she really feels. Anyhow, Ashley says that she doesn't think that her and Candace will ever get along. They just don't mesh. Wendy hopes to have everybody in a good place. And of course, Giselle says, well, that will be difficult since she can't stand Karen. Well, Giselle, the feeling is mutual because Karen can't really stand you either. Giselle continues and says, I'm just going to tell your truths. I'm going to tell your whole truths, your drunk truths, your cheating truths, your broke truths. And, Karen's just like, Giselle, just shut up. You don't want any of this. And she kept going on, and Karen's like, do you want to talk about your fiery box? Yeah, your hot box that you have. And everybody's like, fiery box? What's that? Like, what is Karen talking about? I was dying because it was funny. But these two always seem to go at it. You can't keep a man. Your man's, peeing ain't doing nothing for you, doesn't work. It's always the same insults. Hopefully they bring us a little bit more than that. But Giselle, if you're gonna take it there, Karen is on the line. Like, if you're gonna go there, I'm gonna go low as well. And Karen just came for her and finished her really with the hot box comment. And then when Giselle brought up about Ray's peen not working, Karen basically said, well, at least my man peen isn't in everybody else's vag. Giselle, that comeback was not good at all. You should have just avoided that whole confrontation. Was unnecessary. And Karen just came for you harder. And Karen ended with, Giselle, we all know that you're a broken whore from Hampton University, and everybody knows it. And that's the reason why you went to Sing Sing. Now, this is how we end. Everybody's wondering, Sing Sing, what is Karen talking about? Well, I'm sure we will see in the next episodes, because I'm sure they're going to continue off with this dinner again to clear up everything. But I do know that Karen was mentioning, I saw other interviews, and Karen mentioned that when she said Sing Sing, she didn't realize that was a jail. She really meant more so that things that happened between Giselle and Jamal, allegedly, that Giselle ended up in the crazy house. With everything that happened between Giselle and Jamal, Giselle actually ended up having a mental breakdown. And I think that's what Karen was trying to refer to. I think I would rate this episode at about a 8.5. It did give what I needed to see from the ladies for a first episode, and it looks like it's only going to get better going forwards. It looks like in the next episode, we might be seeing more about Mia, so we'll see how that goes. But I'm excited for this new season of Real Housewives of Potomac. Don't forget, please remember to hit that like button. Also, leave a comment below and let me know what your thoughts are about this episode and what kind of videos you would like to see from me in the future. Also, hit that notification bell so that you can get the instant notifications once my video drops, and hit that subscribe button. I love all of my subscribers. Thank you for watching, guys. See you later.